Hello and welcome to Enyimba TV News. We are reaching you from the commercial city of Aba, Abia State in Nigeria. First, the headlines. Federal government says it is not considering foreign military base in Nigeria. NERC announces electricity tariff reduction. Federal government directs Michael OKPARA University students to resume May 19th. These and other stories, plus foreign, business and sports shortly. I am Mary Ihejirika. The federal government has clarified that there were no discussions with foreign countries regarding the establishment of foreign military bases in Nigeria. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris Malagi, made this known in a statement on Monday. Giving further clarification on the issue, Idris said the federal government was not engaged in any discussions with foreign countries regarding the establishment of military base in Nigeria, nor has it received any proposals for such. Idris urged the public to disregard false alarms and emphasize the government's commitment to existing foreign cooperation in addressing security challenges. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has released a new tariff order for May 2024, which will see a reduction in electricity rates for consumers. NERC said this decision comes after a thorough review of the macroeconomic parameters and exchange rate appreciations. It disclosed this in a statement signed by its management on Monday. This is coming after the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress threatened to shut down their operations in the country should the federal government insist on the tariff increments. The Lagos State Commissioner for Environment, Tokunbo Wahab, has disclosed that Lagos, as a coastal state, has been predicted to go under in the next 50 years. Wahab stated this while justifying the ongoing demolition in some parts of the state. This comes after residents decried the demolition exercise carried out at Mendy Estate Villa in Lagos on Saturday. While speaking in an interview on Sunday, the commissioner stressed that it is important for people to safeguard the state's infrastructure to prevent the prediction from coming to pass. He emphasized the government's commitment to preventing the effects of floods across the state. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has advised core members in Osun to join the fight against corruption and social vices in the country. Mrs. Winifred Mboro, head of Public Enlightenment and Education Unit, ICPC Osun Office, gave the advice in an interview. Mboro, who explained the pivotal role of the ICPC in dealing with corruption-related practices in the country, says such concerted efforts would help reduce the rate of negative social vices. According to her, the Commission will not relent in spreading the crusade against any form of corruption in order to make the system free from such enemies. Mboro, however, said the Commission would continue to partner with key government anti-graft agencies towards ensuring that the society was free from any form of corruption and indiscipline. The Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Blessing Abebako, has suspended 3 lawmakers with immediate effect over allegations of an impeachment plot to remove him and some other Principal Officers Council (POC) of the House. The 3 suspended lawmakers are Donald Okebe, PDP Akoka Edo 2, Bright Eyamo, PDP Orion 1 South, and Ade Isebo Isa Northeast 1. During the sitting at the Assembly complex on Monday, Abebako insisted that 3 suspended members were being backed by some persons outside the Assembly to foment trouble and remove the leadership of the House. He also alleged that some persons brought native doctors into the house at midnight on May 1, 2024 to make some demonic incantations and drop charms in the Assembly complex. The political face-off between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Rivers State House of Assembly is showing no signs of reprieve as the House is tackling the governor over the state public procurement law. At plenary on Monday, the Speaker of the House, Martin Amaewule, accused the governor of financial irresponsibility and recklessness in the way he spent money without appropriation. One of the items on the agenda for the day's sitting was the governor's handling of state financing, which the speaker condemned. The deputy speaker, Dimel Mao, asked his colleagues to veto the governor on the State Public Procurement Amendment Bill. The latest veto is coming on the heels of 5 previous vetoes, during which the Assembly has overridden the governor to enact laws. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara on Monday criticized the attitude of the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly towards his administration, saying the members will cease to exist as legislators if he so decides. He said the lawmakers are existing based on his recognition predicated on the peace accord initiated by President Bola Tinubu. Governor Fubara stated this while addressing a delegation of political and traditional leaders from Bayelsa State who visited him at the government house in Port Harcourt, the state capital, to seek an end to the political crisis in Rivers State and an improved relationship between both states. Governor Fubara told the delegation, which was led by the former governor of Bayelsa State and senator representing Bayelsa West, Henry Siraki Dixon, that he has been the one showing restraint since the crisis escalated in the state. He said despite wielding state powers, which he can deploy to achieve his aim, he has continued to act as the big brother in the face of intimidation and unwarranted attacks. The police in Ebonyi says it will investigate and arrest killers of Mr. Omazi Ubani, the traditional ruler of Umuihe Autonomous Community in Akeze, Ivo local government area of Ebonyi. Enyimba TV News recalls that Ubani was killed on Friday night in the area by unidentified assailants. The police public relations officer in the state, DSP Joshua Okando, told journalists in Abakaliki on Monday that officers and men of the command had been mobilized to ensure the assailants were arrested. The federal government has directed that processes for the resumption of academic activities at the Michael OKPARA University of Agriculture, Umudike MOUAU, should commence immediately. Vice Chancellor Professor Madu BBC Ofo Iwe, who disclosed this on Monday, said that the process would commence on Tuesday, May 7 and terminate on May 19 when students are expected to return on campus. He said that the federal government, after studying the report of the investigative panel on the riot, directed that each student should pay a reparation fee of 25,000 naira before being readmitted to the institution. The VC further said that students will write a letter of undertaking with an affidavit endorsed by a high court and scan same to their respective heads of department ahead of the resumption date when they will return with a hard copy of the letter. Enyimba TV News records that after a violent protest by students on February 6, during which some buildings in the university were set on fire and property worth millions of naira destroyed, the management announced a closure of academic activities. When we return from the break, we'll bring more stories. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. You're listening to the news on Enyimba TV, reaching you from Aba, the commercial capital city of Abia State, Nigeria. Now to the rest of the stories. On the foreign scene, Chad's electoral officials say a man was shot dead on Monday after voting in the country's presidential election by an attacker who did not have an electoral card and had been barred from voting. The unknown gunman opened fire indiscriminately, hitting a 65-year-old man who had just cast his ballot in Mondor, according to the head of the Angi electoral body in the southern city, Osman Houzibi. The shooter was among a group of people demanding the right to vote in the election in which junta leader and transitional president Mahamat Idris Deby Itonu's main rival is Prime Minister Success Masra. Hasbi, who described it as an isolated incident, said calm had returned, but that the attackers had fled. An official from Monday Prosecution's Office, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the assailants were being interviewed while the mayor stated that 4 arrests have been made. And on business, the federal government has announced plans to delete the Naira from all peer-to-peer P2P platforms. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Imomotimi Agama, made this disclosure in a virtual meeting with blockchain stakeholders on Monday. This decision aims to tackle the manipulation of the local currency's value in the foreign exchange market. The country's regulatory authorities have been investigating and scrutinizing cryptocurrency exchanges in recent months. On March 8, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, stopped its Naira services. And on sports, Kelechi Iheanacho has refused to commit his future to Leicester City amid talks of an exit from the club this summer. Iheanacho's contract with the Foxes will end at the end of June. The 27-year-old has been linked with a move to clubs within and outside England. The player fell out of favor with Leicester City manager Enzo Maresca after opting to represent Nigeria at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in January against the manager's wish. Iheanacho made just 4 appearances for Leicester City since returning from Côte d'Ivoire in February. The forward came off the bench for the final 12 minutes against Rovers on the final day of the season. With the sports story, we've come to the end of Enyimba TV News this day. But just before we go, a recap of the stories that made the headlines. In the news, we told you the federal government has clarified that there were no discussions with foreign countries regarding the establishment of foreign military bases in Nigeria. We also told you the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has released a new tariff order for May 2024, which will see a reduction in electricity rates for consumers. We also told you the federal government has directed that processes for the resumption of academic activities at the Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, MOUAU, should commence immediately. Thanks for joining us on the news on Enyimba TV. On behalf of the production team, my name is Mary Ihejirika. Do have yourself an amazing day.